The iPhone 16 offers a number of enhancements that could improve Apple's flagship while closing the gap between the normal iPhone and Pro series. According to several speculations and supposed leaks, the design, as well as some important features and upgrades for the iPhone 16, iPhone 16 Pro, and iPhone 16 Pro Max, and possibly an iPhone 16 Ultra, are now public knowledge. Fortunately for users, all models appear to be getting something new and fascinating to play with. So regardless of how much you expect to spend on the next iPhone, it will feel like a significant upgrade. If Apple sticks to its present timeline, we should see the iPhone 16 released in September 2024, with at least one rumor pointing to September 10 as the big day. Delays are possible and have occurred a few times in recent years, but Apple has never deviated much. We currently have no exact pricing rumors for the iPhone 16, but we can assume that Apple will keep the entry-level model at $800, with Pro models costing $1,000, $1,100, and greater capacity versions adding a few $100s to the price. However, phone component costs are rising, which may drive iPhone 16 pricing higher. Just this year, the Galaxy S24 Ultra's price increased by $100 over its predecessor to a whopping $1,299, for example. If you've been dissatisfied with the battery life of current iPhone models, prepare for significant changes. Apple is now focusing more on battery life and thermal control, particularly following the heating difficulties that plagued the iPhone 15 Pro models last year. Apple is working hard to make the next iPhone attractive. According to Cole's Twitter post, Apple's use of a stainless steel housing for the iPhone's battery will allow for a 5% to 10% increase in cell density, while remaining under safety restrictions and complying with new EU rules. Alleged photographs of an iPhone 16 Pro battery with a metal casing surfaced in late 2023, and since then, the information has outlined Apple's attempts to make battery replacement easier, beginning with the iPhone 16. The higher density battery would generate more heat, which is why Apple is said to be using a stainless steel case that wraps around the battery for better thermal management. So we should expect the iPhone 16 Pro to have a gigantic 9.28% increase in battery size, while the iPhone 16 Pro Max will have a 5.7% rise. Remember, the new and efficient A18 chipset will undoubtedly significantly improve battery life, not just the battery size. Furthermore, these iPhones will benefit from improved cooling management, resulting in longer battery life, reduced throttling, and incredible performance. Last year, Apple went all out with the A17 chipset. While it was undeniably powerful, it lacked a significant cooling system. Apple's primary focus last year was on bringing console-level games to the iPhone, but this year, in addition to those games, Apple is focusing heavily on the new cameras, which will require a significant amount of power and battery. Next, we'll look at the new capture button. Apple's ambition for future iPhones was a port-free design, but that appears to be fading as we see many leaks of the forthcoming iPhone 16 Pro featuring a dedicated capture button. Last year, Apple eliminated the mute switch from iPhones and replaced it with an action button that can perform a variety of functions and be remounted. But this year, Apple is taking it a step further by including a dedicated camera button on the new iPhones. This is a confirmed feature that will be available on these phones next month. There isn't much information about what these capture buttons will do right now, but some reports say they'll help you zoom in and out. In addition, you can capture photographs without touching your phone screen. As we all know, the iPhone is the most popular camera in the world, and Apple's decision to make it more of a photography-oriented device was, in my opinion, a beneficial one. According to some reports, this will be a solid-state button on the bottom right side, replacing the millimeter wave antenna on US devices. However, the evidence indicates that the surface of the capture button will be touch-sensitive. iPhone 16 users will purportedly be able to zoom in and out by swiping left and right on the surface of the camera button. According to the report, users will be able to focus photographs by lightly pushing the button and activate the shutter by pressing it firmly. And if you're wondering what will happen to the cases we use for our iPhones, the new cases will include a cutout for Apple's new sort of capture button. And these cases will undoubtedly come in a variety of sizes and forms, depending on whether you want to use the capture button or not. The third option is for larger and better displays. The largest iPhone Apple has ever manufactured in terms of display size will be released in 2024. With the iPhone 16 Pro Max increasing to a whopping 6.9 inches, this will be a dream come true for individuals who watch a lot of YouTube videos and movies on their phones. Meanwhile, the smaller 16 Pro's display size will increase from 6.1 to 6.3 inches. Keep in mind that the overall size and dimensions of these next iPhones will not grow significantly. The total dimensions will grow slightly. For example, the 16 Pro Max will now be slightly wider and taller to accommodate the larger display and battery. Apple's use of border reduction technologies has greatly aided this cause, and we will now see significantly reduced bezels on these next iPhones. I always worry about how far Apple will push these bezels, because finding the thinnest border screen cover for these iPhones becomes more difficult with each passing year. I hope we get some new transparent glass screen protectors to safeguard these iPhones from scratches and scuffs. Samsung will provide these new panels, while another report indicates that Apple will use Samsung's latest M14 advanced OLED displays. These screens have better brightness and lifespan. If you've ever used a Galaxy S24 Ultra, you'll know how impressive its brightness is, especially on bright summer days. It's pretty gray outside, and it appears like Apple will be employing these identical display panels inside the iPhone 16 Pro Max and iPhone 16 Pro this year. The other advantage of these displays is that their lifespan is far longer, so you won't have any fading pixels or screen troubles for the foreseeable future. They last significantly longer. Another thing to note about the S24 Ultra is that it was one of the first smartphones to match or come close to the iPhone 15 Pro Max's battery life. The Galaxy S23 Ultra and Galaxy S22 Ultra share the same battery size. The key modifications are the chipset and the new screen. So with the new A18 chipsets and the new display, we could see even longer battery life within iPhones, which is fantastic news. We might also see a maximum peak brightness of up to 3000 nits, which matches the display of the Apple Watch Ultra 2. Currently, the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max have a peak brightness of 2000 nits, whereas the S24 Ultra has a peak brightness of 2600 nits in daylight. While I'm not looking forward to Apple's ultra-bright displays, they are certainly useful, especially when you're outside. However, the feature I'm hoping to see on these next iPhone displays is the anti-reflective coating that Samsung has been utilizing on its S24. I tested the S24's anti-reflective coating display, and the difference is night and day once those irritating reflections are eliminated. If you want to safeguard the display, you'll need an anti-reflective screen protector, but this is one of the Galaxy S24's best features that Samsung didn't highlight much. Moving on to number 4, improved MagSafe and faster charging. Specifically, if you are purchasing an iPhone 16 Pro this year, Apple is finally enhancing charging rates, not only through wired connections with USB-C, but also via MagSafe. According to this confirmed source, Apple plans to increase the current maximum charging rate of the Pro iPhones from 27 watts to 40 watts, representing a significant increase year over year. MagSafe boosts charging speed dramatically, from 15 watts to 20 watts. The fact that Apple appears to be making big adjustments to battery life, or at least laying the groundwork for significantly better battery life in the future, is simply the best news for iPhone batteries we've heard in, well, ever. Apple has never changed the construction of this metal casing before, and I believe it will be a huge deal. In addition to this, Apple is attempting to improve heat management in the iPhone 16 series by adding a larger graphite sheet on the inside that will absorb heat more efficiently than the existing design. You may recall that the iPhone 15 series sparked a lot of controversy at launch, particularly since they overheated rapidly and readily. Even now, my phone is neither heated nor cool. Well, Apple has made several software modifications to improve heat management over time. This tangible piece of hardware will only improve it, especially for extended demands such as gaming. It's really wonderful to see Apple admitting there was a problem while also resolving and improving it. This will save you a significant amount of time, especially if you charge your phone while showering or getting ready. Now, even in that brief period of time, your iPhone will have enough charge to survive the entire day. Finally, number 5. The new 48-megapixel ultra-wide camera. This year, Apple has placed a strong emphasis on camera systems, which is why we're seeing numerous advancements across the board. To support a better and higher quality camera system, you need larger batteries, better cooling systems, greater storage, which, by the way, is getting a significant boost this year to 2 terabytes. And of course, better and larger displays to watch all of that high-quality material you shot. Both iPhone 16 Pro versions will feature a 48-megapixel ultra-wide camera. However, the iPhone 16 Pro Max will only have a larger main camera sensor based on a proprietary 48-megapixel Sony 903 sensor. The new sensor is intended to include a layered construction for higher performance, as well as digital gain control for increased dynamic range and noise reduction. The smaller iPhone 16 Pro's main camera is believed to feature the same 48 megapixels Sony 803 megapixels sensor that Apple used with the iPhone 15 Pro variants. Tetra-prism telephoto lenses are projected to be added to both the iPhone 16 Pro and the iPhone 16 Pro Max by 2024, rather than just the bigger Pro Max. This suggests that both iPhone 16 Pro models will have at least 5x optical zoom and 25x digital zoom. This is a confirmed leak that we have seen numerous times. Forget about that 100x zoom. It won't happen this year, but maybe next year with the iPhone 17, which is expected to have a completely new design for the camera system on the rear. Next year's iPhone 17 could also have a new 1-inch sensor. However, this year, both the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max models will feature periscope zoom lenses with an optical zoom of up to 5x, as well as a 25x digital zoom. The iPhone 16 Pro cameras may reportedly use a new anti-reflective optical coating, which will improve images by decreasing lens flare and ghosting. When powerful light sources like the sun shine into the lens, artifacts such as streaks of light and halos might appear in images, and this has been highlighted as an issue with the iPhone 15 Pro cameras. This coating was used last year with the iPhone 15 Pro models, but it did not appear to make a significant difference. So those are the 5 confirmed features for this year's iPhone 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max. I now own an iPhone 15 Pro Max, and I plan to upgrade to the 16 Pro Max, particularly for the larger battery and improved cameras. So that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more tech news and updates.